Welcome to Strip Talking, a podcast from stripwalking.com.
Don't put words in his mouth. Put monster burgers in his mouth.
Light 'em up, light 'em up.
Yes, those are the right words. The wrong notes, but the right words.
I did not eat tuna in college, despite my best efforts.
It's what brings fun to Vegas, math.
A branch of the Branch Davidians, David Cornish.
I don't know if my spreadsheet can handle negatives. Oh, yep, it did.
Usually that's one of the things that really comes naturally to you is insulting me.
We can still be friends.
I don't think so.
I don't know that I'll respect you as much.
I don't know that we can respect him at all.
You get the right words, wrong notes, Geoff, right?
Here are your hosts, and maybe.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of Strip Talking, brought to you by stripwalking.com. I am Geoff. I'm here tonight with Mike. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
I gotta think of a new line. I'm all right.
You're all right. That was original. That did require a lot of thought. I can see how that could be quite taxing. Well, the last time we came and joined you, we were kind of recapping our trip to Las Vegas here recently and our experiences with the 360 Vegas Vegas vacation, which was a lot of fun. I don't know what Mike is doing. I should probably not be looking at Mike as I'm talking here. Anyway, I
have a sore in my mouth.
You do. I could kind of tell just from your expression as I'm looking at you.
I didn't get it from a hooker. Don't get any ideas.
Okay. The fact that you were there in Las Vegas with your wife makes me feel like that would be unlikely. But
yeah.
Well. We recapped our 360 Vegas vacation trip, and I don't know about you, but here we are a couple weeks after.
Well, we only did one part of it.
Well, that's true. We just recapped our experience with the specific events associated with Vegas vacation, which those were a lot of fun. And having just recently listened to the actual 360 Vegas, their podcast that recapped the whole trip, it brought back a lot of really fun memories. It made me feel really excited again about how we were there and upcoming Vegas vacations, which I assume we plan on frequenting.
I think they were really easy on you about the whole getting cut off part.
Yeah, I appreciate how much they backed me up on the whole situation and made me sound like I wasn't, I don't know, obnoxious.
The servers, bartenders, waitresses, they're trained professionals. They can spot an obnoxious drunk from a mile away.
Okay, all right.
Let's not just discount their opinions.
That is true.
Just because we want to be nice to Geoff.
Okay, and that's an understandable point of view. As I look back on the experience, and I think I even might have sent this to Karen. I said, number one, I never intended to get cut off. Number two, while I was embarrassed at the time that it happened, don't really care. I was having a great time.
Oh, you'll care when you're not invited back.
Well, I have not received an official invitation back yet, but I'm sure it's in the mail. I'm sure it's coming.
I'm just saying, if the establishment has decided that you're not coming back, then even if they have another event there, you're not allowed back.
Maybe I'll just grow my beard back. That'll make it completely different, and nobody will ever know.
Until you get drunk, then they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we remember that guy."
Kick him out now. Although, to be fair, I know Mark alluded to the fact that there were lots of drunk people at the cocktail hour. I don't think either one of us got brought up at that point.
Brought up? On charges?
How about we weren't specifically mentioned in the group of drunk people, even though I don't think I've seen Mike that.
Yes, you have.
I have not seen it like that since probably college. All I know, which we'll get to our experience at the restaurant of choice after the cocktail hour in this podcast, because we have some very important things to say about that too. So So since we're talking about food, or we alluded to food there, should we discuss what we kind of experienced from a food standpoint this time in Las Vegas? Because I don't know about you, but I found that Las Vegas seems to be one thing more and more that they continue to promote is the large number of celebrity chefs and high-end food that you have access to while visiting Las Vegas.
Yes, we should. I had something else to say, but you talked so much I forgot.
I'm sure you'll remember it.
Seems unlikely at this point. I'm getting pretty old.
I suppose that's true. Because I can talk a lot, and, hours and days and weeks might pass in between the time I take a breath. So,
my God, you should edit one of these podcasts and you really realize how much you talk.
As the editor, Jay can confirm this fact.
We obviously don't want to start off our tour of fantastic foods by mentioning that our first meal in Las Vegas was McDonald's.
We got to go chronological.
Okay, so
McGriddles are pretty damn good. I ain't gonna hate on the McGriddles.
And we mentioned this in the last podcast about how we were hungry when we first got there, and it was early in the morning Vegas time and on a Sunday. So we had our little issue with Teriyaki Boy and Chicken Guy, and ended up at a McDonald's for breakfast. Those 2-for-1 McGriddles were pretty fantastic.
I would agree. I give it 3.5 stars
out of 3.
5.
Okay. Which I might have blown Mike and his wife's mind that morning when we were driving back to the Strip from McDonald's, because I explained to them how they actually decided how to make the McGriddle with the syrup right there in the pancake. Do you remember that? It was so fantastic. He doesn't even remember.
You should have just stopped it. You might have blown Mike. That's all I remember.
Okay, I think we'll just stop right there then. So anyway, we had our McDonald's breakfast as we were headed back to the Strip that morning, and we did our little excursion to Fontainebleau.
No food there, no reason to talk about it.
No, there was not. But we then went to Mike's wife's favorite celebrity chef's restaurant, and that was Flavortown.
Guy Ferrari.
Flavortown, his new restaurant.
She loves it when I say that.
I bet she loves it. I bet there are a lot of things that you say about Guy Ferrari that she absolutely loves. And I'm guessing if she were to listen to this next part of the podcast, there would be more things that
she's going to love this review. Yeah.
I was just going to say she's going to absolutely love it.
But she doesn't listen to it, as I mentioned last time.
Which is perfect. So
I can say anything. So
I would have to say, starting off right away, my first gripe with Guy Ferrari's Flavortown is that we got to the restaurant at 10:45 local time, looking to eat lunch.
We already griped about this.
I know, but looking to eat lunch. They didn't have the lunch menu actually up until 11. So we had to kill 15 minutes because they wouldn't seat us and allow us to look at the lunch menu, which is kind of lame. But I suppose is part of what they have to do.
Jay put us in our place. He said there's a whole changeover that has to take place.
I know. Speaking of Jay, where is Jay?
Tornado issues.
Oh,
I believe his house got hit.
Tornado issues, plus on top of that, probably technical difficulties. Probably couldn't figure out how to hook up to the internet.
Yeah, I think his router's down, needs a reboot or something.
No. Jay apparently is under the weather today, so he said that he was tired of listening to me talk too, and so he said, just go ahead and do it without me.
Nobody gets sick in July. He is definitely on the pickleball court.
Oh, go poor Jay. He's not even here to defend himself. But that's just what happens when you're not here to defend yourself. You're going to get a whole bunch of shit.
That's just what happens when you go play pickleball.
That's also true. But anyway, so we did hang around. We went and kind of screwed around in Horseshoe for about 15 minutes and came back. And they sat us for our lunch meal at Flavortown. I had never been to a Guy Fieri restaurant before. That was my first time ever. I had heard of the trash can nachos.
I still don't believe this. We've been to the one at the Link so many times, and you haven't been with us at any of those?
Nope, I had not been. I've been by that restaurant a million times, but I've never been in it. His Vegas at the Link. Yeah, never have been.
Yeah.
Nope. But I'd heard you talk about the trash can nachos. So that was one thing I was thinking about doing. Mike showed me what a professionally is, though, because he knew all the abbreviations. There's a whole bunch of weird-ass abbreviations on the menu. And super melty cheese, is that what it was? SMC?
Yep.
That Mike had to correctly explain to me what that was.
Donkey sauce.
Donkey sauce, yeah. There was another one that was like lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, onion. I don't know. LTOP or something. I don't know. So anyway, I ended up ordering it was supposed to be like a club sandwich. It was a tonkatsu club sandwich or something, but it was chicken. It was a chicken sandwich with kind of a oriental type coleslaw on it with fries. It's like a fry trio. Is that what they say? Like 3 different fries.
It's like the Gordon Ramsay restaurants. There's a lot of overlap on the menu. Having been to the other place at the Link multiple times, because it used to be the only option when we came to town. So we're going there because my wife has to eat at a Guy Fieri restaurant every time we go. So I had tried a lot of the things on that menu, I think. But the cheeseburger trash can nachos were unique, I believe, to this restaurant. So I gave those a shot. I thought about just my go-to has become the wings so Guy Fieri also has a restaurant in Council Bluffs, Iowa, where we do our local gambling, or used to do a lot of our local gambling. Been to that one a few times also. So between those 2 other locations, as I mentioned, I've eaten a lot of Guy Fieri food, and my go-to has become the wings. They're not spectacular, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
So I thought about just doing that, but I thought, all right, I'll give the cheeseburger nachos a shot. Also looked at there was an appetizer, some sort of pepperoni rolls thing that I think I had seen one of our friends on Twitter had posted a long time ago when it opened, that they were pretty good. I kind of wish I would have done that now. Well, when they came, you saw I don't know if he was new or he didn't quite take the trash can off correctly, and they just kind of all fell into a big mess.
I was going to say, from my experience, and again, since I'm new, I had not seen the whole presentation, which I imagine the presentation is 95% of the trash can nacho experience. From a presentation standpoint, I would have given it a 5 out of 10. It was a little rough.
But actually eating it, I would give it a less than 5 out of 10. So there's that.
So again, the presentation was still the best part of the meal for you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if it could have fallen all over him and been a little more entertaining or something. I don't know.
That bumps it up to a solid 8. If he spills it all over himself, then it definitely jumps it up.
Then I could have reordered and I could have got the pepperoni thing.
And you'd have had there'd been no problem with that excuse.
Right. I think I kind of knew once I ordered it, I already made a mistake, but I did it so we could take pictures and post it on the website. I did it all for the brand, Geoff.
There you go. I know how you are. You just constantly giving,
yep.
Giving back. So
that's me.
Actually, what would you give it as a rating?
The food or the whole place?
The food and then the whole place.
2.
2 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so. My sandwich was not. I would say it was a good solid meh. It was okay. I mean, it was. I would say I would give it maybe a 4 out of 10, and that 4 out of 10 probably goes because I liked one of the 3 types of fries.
Yeah, I'm just being kind of a dick, but that's about right. It's very average. It's not. If I would have got the wings, it would have been a 4 or 5 probably.
Yeah. I would have to say, and we're obviously going to talk about more of these things here in a little bit, but I would have to say out of all the meals that we ate in Las Vegas this time, that it was my least favorite. And I don't know that, I mean, I'm sure I'll eat another meal at a Guy Fieri restaurant, but I can't say that it's something that I would really on my own seek out, if that makes any sense. It was okay, but it wasn't anything spectacular. There's a lot of options out there, and I think probably a lot better options.
True. But I did get to use my dining credit.
You did, and I would have to say that Mike and his wife were generous enough to allow me to jump in on their dining credit, so that was very kind of them. made the meal more like a 7 out of 10.
If you would have told me that I wouldn't get to use both of ours the whole trip, I would have said, no way, we're definitely using both of ours. Because the plan was to use the other one at Bedford.
Oh, yeah.
Which didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then I would have bet a lot of money that Mon Ami Gabi, did I say that right?
Mon Ami Gabi
was on the list of places that accepted it, but they say they're not affiliated with Caesars apparently.
Yeah.
Other than being inside of Caesars property,
which is weird. I don't know how you could be a restaurant located in a resort and not be affiliated to a certain extent, from that standpoint. But anyway, I think we both had the same type of experience there.
I'll just be able to use it next trip.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm pretty sure we did use my wife's. Even if I go solo, I'll be able to use it.
Yeah. Nope, you're probably right. We didn't really eat prior to our meet and greet there on Sunday. So once we got done with the meet and greet and we gambled some downtown, obviously, we were hungry. We contemplated Pizza Rock, or I contemplated Pizza Rock since it's right across the street from downtown Grand. I was unceremoniously shot down on that. That was a big no-go.
What was the plan, Geoff?
I don't remember. There's a lot of that trip.
You son of a bitch.
What was the plan, Michael? Oh, we were going
Bacon Nation.
We were going to go. That's right. We were going to go to Bacon Nation. We were going to go to Bacon Nation before a meet and greet, but we were full and tired. I think we both parties slept too long in the afternoon on Sunday, so we didn't make it down there, did we? We weren't hungry.
We could have went after, though, couldn't we have? Is it a breakfast lunch thing?
I think we could have. Why didn't we go?
I don't really know. I think that got dismissed a little too quickly there. But listening to the 360 guys talk about it on their last one, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
Because it sounds like unless you get the reverse BLT, it's
not worth
pretty much all shit.
Yeah, it's not worth it. So, well, so be that as...
That's kind of what I wanted to get, so...
Right. That's true. So be that as it may, we ended up walking around a little bit on Fremont Street, and we decided to try, in Mike's eyes, the premium burger restaurant in all of Vegas. We wanted to try some White Castle.
Don't act like you don't like it.
I do like it. The flavor crystals are pretty fantastic. So we walked our way down to White Castle, and that was another unique experience, and I think we mentioned it on the previous podcast, but turns out we didn't get to eat White Castle either. We stood in line for 20 minutes?
15, 20 minutes.
And not a single person got to put in an order. They didn't take a single order in that time frame. So we mutually decided that wasn't going to happen.
If your give a fuck is broken, they'll hire you at White Castle.
That is also true.
Every White Castle I've been to, seems like all their employees, their give a fuck's broken.
Yeah, the friendly meter does definitely not reach higher than 1 or 2 out of 10, or maybe 1 or 2 out of 100, as it may be. But anyway, we decided we were too hungry to sit there and wait for them to not take our order. So we ended up hopping in the car and driving back to Tacos El Gordo, because we'd had, I think it's Elliot from Vegas Spice that says that's a go-to place for him every time he goes to Las Vegas. So we headed there, and that is between Fontainebleau and Encore there on the Strip.
Well, that's a pretty wide range. It's really just past Encore.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Across the street from Encore to the north.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's pretty fucking far from Fontainebleau.
It is. You're also accurate there. I don't know. And we probably have different opinions on this. I was impressed in certain ways with Tacos El Gordo. It's a very unique setup.
I thought it was interesting. This came up on the 360 podcast too.
That they've never eaten there.
Yes, and Mark's reasoning, or one of his reasons, was huge lines.
Yeah, which
yes,
it is.
That's a big turnoff when you walk in there.
It is a unique experience, that's for sure.
The thing that I didn't like beyond that is it's really, really hard to understand what you're supposed to do.
There's no instruction.
You can order or how you order.
Right. Well, and the only reason, if I remember right, we were standing in line and I had seen somebody else go grab some trays. I didn't even know we were supposed to grab trays. I went and grabbed us both a tray because I'd seen a bunch of people in front of us do it. I grabbed us trays. We weren't even sure how to order. We knew that we wanted to be in a certain line because there was somebody that was directing us. Do you remember they said, do you want steak or do you want pork? And they were kind of pushing us towards one of the lines.
After we got in the wrong line, I think she came over and told us, you want steak, you're in the wrong line, basically.
Right. So we ended up in the steak line. I got 2 steak tacos. Is that what you got as well?
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to, and after we got our steak tacos, I was going to go get, because they had like an al pastor line where they were actually cutting the meat off of like a spit. And I wanted to try that, but God, I waited in line for probably 20 minutes there and didn't move. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to wait for that. So I went and paid and found you guys. I don't know. Do you want me to tell my opinion on this or do you want to go first on this?
I think you know my opinion. I wouldn't go back. It was all right. It was a little too spicy for me, but I don't like spicy at all. And the whole thing, the lines and I wouldn't go back.
I'm surprised you didn't say they put a bunch of green shit on my tacos and I didn't ask for it.
Well, I did, but like there's no list. Nowhere does it say where the ingredients, and the guys serving you, I'm not even sure they speak English. It's almost like for older people, the soup Nazi.
Yes, I like it.
Like you just go up there, you tell them how many tacos, and you get your food, and you shut the fuck up. Don't ask questions.
I can totally see you being like, "Hey, I don't want any of that green stuff on there," and then being like, "No tacos for you." Next.
So I could have say nothing. Plus, if you get no green stuff, then basically what? You got a tortilla and some meat. That's about it.
True. But they also had a little condiment area that you could go put other stuff on, because I went and got some other things that you didn't get. And if I went back, you could also order, like, they had some like grilled peppers and onions that you could get, but I didn't know how to order them. I would have liked those. I don't know if you saw that, but I didn't know how to order.
So you didn't know how to order either?
No, I didn't. I didn't. I would go back because there's some things there I would like to try. And I told Mike the next day, I said, as the further we got away from eating it, the more I actually think I enjoyed it. They make the tortillas right there in front of you. There's a gal in each line she's just pressing out the tortillas, tossing them into the fryer, and they're cooking them. And it was very cool to see that. I don't know. If I was giving it a rating, I would probably give it a 6 or a 7 out of 10, just because I did enjoy it. And I liked the green stuff and I liked the spice because I tend to like spicy things. I don't know. Well, you said you wouldn't go back. Would you give it at least a 5?
What's the best type of food?
The best type of food in general?
Oh, you didn't do that podcast, did you? One of our rapid fires.
Oh, yes. That was the one where Julie said Indian. Yeah.
It's American, motherfucker. So no, it does not get to be above Guy Fieri.
Oh my God. You're giving something lower than a Guy Fieri restaurant?
Guy Fieri is a 4 or 5. It's about a 3 or a 4.
Okay. Well, like I said, I would say mine was a 6 or 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Definitely would go back.
That's just me. I could see how a lot of people would like it.
Yeah. Sounds like, though, if I'm going to go back, I'm going to have to do it on my own.
For sure.
For sure.
I'll walk down to the Pepper Mill, is it?
Yeah.
Give that a try.
Which is another place we haven't been. I think we need to visit that particular restaurant sometime soon. But so we called it a night on Sunday night. And then, let's see, Monday morning, we didn't have anything scheduled until Flight Club as far as events. So this is my time to go off on a food, and Mike's rolling his eyes. So anyway, I was staying at Planet Hollywood, and I had heard really, really good things from both Karen and Alistair and a whole bunch of people about the Henry, which is at Cosmopolitan, about their breakfast, and more specifically their short rib eggs Benedict. And so I wanted to give that a try. And so I did scoot over there in the morning on Monday. Where I was by myself, I sat at the bar and ordered that. I think that my first bite of that dish when it came out might have been the best bite of food I've ever had in Las Vegas, or in general. It was delicious. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 without even going into much detail. It was crispy hash browns with it was the jus from the short ribs when they were cooking it, 2 eggs.
It was a jus?
What did you say? The jus, kind of the gravy type stuff that they make out of the drippings from the meat. And then they had the eggs with a hollandaise sauce on the top of it. The hollandaise sauce mixed with that gravy, it was fantastic. I will say, and again, it's Las Vegas, so pricey is relative. I think it was $25 for that breakfast dish, but I would eat that dish every time I go to Vegas if I can. It was that good.
$25?
It was. I knew it was.
Wow.
I knew it was going to be expensive, but like I said, where are you going to go? We ate at Egg Slut at Cosmo, and my meal was basically $25, and this was 100 times better than Egg Slut.
I could get a Wagyu American beef skewer at Sushi Roku for $18.
Yes, you could. Your 3 little bites of beef, which is something that we'll talk about again, I'm sure, here coming up. But yeah, it was fantastic. I'm my mouth's watering just even thinking about it. Might have second food gasm.
Settle down.
If I can say that in a podcast. It was unbelievable. But anyway, so Mike, I don't believe, ate breakfast that morning. Am I correct?
No, I don't believe so.
Because if I remember right, I went and ate. Then I went to the Bellagio Conservatory, which is something that Mike was also jealous that he missed.
Nothing that we could discuss on air anyway.
And I texted him and I said, "What are you doing? Are you up?" He said, "Just waking up." And I was like, "Well, are we doing Pop Stroke?" Because that was our next plan, was to go to Pop Stroke. And he's like, "Oh, I suppose we ought to." So I hustled back over to Planet Hollywood, drove down and picked them up. We went to Pop Stroke, and then we had to be back from Pop Stroke by a certain time because
12.
because Mike and his wife had reservations at
Buddy V's.
And
You gonna let me talk?
I am going to let you talk. This is all you, because I did not. I had the gourmet meal of Panda Express, which was also better than Guy Fieri's.
Oh, tell us about that, Geoff.
No. Buddy V's is much more interesting.
Did you have I can't think of any types of cats. I hate cats.
You've never eaten at a Panda Express in your life. I know that as a fact.
I was going to say, did you have like this type of cat or this type of cat, but I can't even think of types of cats.
I had beef with broccoli, and I had honey walnut shrimp and their fried rice, and it was good. It was still better than Flavortown. Anyway, so tell me more about Buddy V's. Buddy V's is Italian, I believe.
Good guess, Geoff.
I've been doing some research, being the host of the show this week. I had to do some research.
Buddy V's was another one of those places I can say I went, probably don't ever need to go back. And I didn't have a real inspired choice. I had the pizza. My wife had the shrimp scampi, which she really liked. We're starting to learn that her taste palette may not be the greatest.
And we can say that because she's not going to listen to it.
Exactly.
I think I would have enjoyed the shrimp scampi and pasta that she had from the way she explained it. But it sounds like your pizza was just kind of run of the mill.
I wish I would have got pasta of some sort. I should have done that. But I didn't want, not that pizza's not heavy, but pasta would have been real heavy right before the Flight Club thing. Plus, I knew we were going to get desserts because you go to Buddy V's, you have to get desserts, right?
Right.
That's cake boss, the whole thing.
Yeah. But you did say that the desserts were pretty fantastic.
They were good, yes. I had the cannolis. I still don't remember what my wife had. Some sort of chocolate cake thingy, maybe.
Was it tiramisu? I think she likes tiramisu. I didn't know.
No, I don't think it was tiramisu. The cannolis were the better choice, though.
Yeah, there was a right choice there, and it was the cannolis.
Yes, that's his deal.
Yeah,
Buddy B is cannoli, so
yeah.
But the desserts were the highlight. It's a pretty fancy done up place. The windows on that opposite side of where you walk in overlook the rotunda of the palazzo.
Oh,
that's kind of a nice view that we didn't get because we didn't sit over there. But
I can imagine that would be pretty spectacular. I had never noticed that rotunda and the fountains there at Palazzo until this time on our trip, and you've walked around it many times. So here's my question. So give me a rating of your meal and then a rating of your dessert.
The pizza was probably on a scale of Pizza Rock to Moneyline.
Poking the bear. Why don't you go Secret Pizza? We both know where you're at.
I'm just trying to be a dick.
Or Syracuse. You could say Syracuse, too. That would have poked it.
Yeah. All right. On a scale of Secret Pizza to Pizza Rock, I would give it a D.
A D? So a solid Syracuse.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Okay, so tell me, and again, Mike knows I like Syracuse, and he knows that just gets under my skin.
I would say for the price, go get yourself a DiGiorno.
DiGiorno, okay. A Tony's, a Jack's pizza.
Totino's would be a good one too.
But how about the desserts?
That's a solid 7 or 8, I'd say. It's not sticky toffee pudding or anything, but it's pretty good.
I think that if I were to go there, I'm not a huge Italian restaurant type of person. I like Italian food, but it's not my go-to by any stretch. So the desserts would definitely be what I would be looking for.
And actually, they have a bakery right across from it, which we have been to several times, that sells a lot more desserts from I don't know if they're from the show or not. It's Buddy B's Bakery.
Right.
And the problem with those sometimes are the same problem as the ones in the vending machine. They tend to be dry, the cakes, and cold.
Right.
I can't exactly recommend you go there either.
So really, you just have to bite the bullet, have a meal, and eat the fresher desserts.
I'm saying it's all kind of cashing in on his name.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
Probably the best Buddy V's would be the pizza cake in Harrahs, right?
I enjoyed pizza cake.
Pretty good pizza.
Yeah, we ate a pizza cake. And if I remember, we watched the gal almost fall down 2 or 3 times. That pizza cake.
That video may be on TikTok.
There might be. It was a she would have gotten cut off at Flight Club.
Her man was rather intoxicated too, but
he could have given a shit less if she fell on her ass.
He was just focusing on standing himself, but he was doing a lot better job
than she was. Oh, good times. So anyway, yeah, we went from there to Flight Club, and we talked about the Flight Club experience, which was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that was a whole lot of fun. And then,
but there was no food.
Well, we could have ordered food if we wanted.
Yeah.
But we decided against it.
But if we need to talk any further about what the 360 guys said about you getting cut off, I'm game.
It's up to you. I'm willing to talk about it.
I think I already said my piece.
That's true. So it happened.
I still think they're being too nice.
Okay. Well, I still want to give them thank yous for trying to make me feel better about the whole situation.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I remember.
All right.
So we have a bunch of shirts, samples and whatnot from the website that we take and try and give away. We always do a shitty job of giving them away.
True.
Very rarely do we give one away. But we had that bag at Flight Club. Before Flight Club, it had a red Bellagio Fountains lifeguard shirt in there. And that shirt has gone missing. We no longer have it.
Yep. So we inadvertently, unintentionally gave it away, apparently, or someone took it.
So either you gave it away or somebody stole it.
I don't think I gave anybody that shirt. I'm 99.999% sure I did not give it away.
I can't think somebody there stole it. I think drunk Geoff gave it away and didn't remember it.
Well, if anybody from Flight Club remembers me handing them a red Bellagio Fountain lifeguard t-shirt, you're welcome. I hope you enjoy it. So there was that. Totally forgot about that.
And my wife's kind of pissed because she wanted that one. So
that was funny. That is funny. So we got done with Flight Club. Mike and his wife had met a very nice couple from Pennsylvania, Brian and Tanya, who are experienced 360 Vegas vacationers. And so we ended up deciding to go eat with them for our evening meal, which was funny
No, it wasn't an evening meal. It was at 4 o'clock in the fucking afternoon, Geoff.
Snack. It was a snack, and you'll understand more when we get to there because Mike does not like to venture out of his comfort zone. Is that a fair statement?
I think this was their lunch.
It very well could have been. But anyway, so they invited us to go with them to Sushi Roku in Caesar's Palace, which I'm pretty sure Mike has never been any closer to sushi than he was at that moment when we sat down at the restaurant. But he did go.
Smelled like my high school prom.
It was interesting for him. I know his wife and I both ordered the lotus roll, which was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I also got the spicy miso soup, which was also very good. But the highlight of the whole excursion to Sushi Roku was Mike's choice for the meal. So tell me, Mike, what did you order again?
That was the highlight?
Oh, the highlight that made me laugh. I mean, I know I was intoxicated, but I don't think I've ever chuckled so hard at
Yes. You were intoxicated because when you sat down, you immediately launched into stories about my cereal eating and macaroni and cheese eating. And
oh, yes, I'm sorry. Sort of. Not really. But anyway, so what did you order, Mike?
My plan was not to order anything. We had eaten at Buddy V's. The thing started at 1 and we were there 2 hours, was it?
3 hours, so it was 4 o'clock or so.
So it's 4 o'clock. So I'm just going to chat. But they have skewers, beef skewers, American Wagyu. So I'm like, what the heck? I'll order them after I make a joke with the waitress about ordering cereal.
It was clever. It was clever.
And my wife wants to get out of there because we're all drunk and acting like idiots.
And when we get the order,
but when we get it, it is tiny. So I think it was an appetizer. If you order it as an appetizer, you'd laugh at it too, right?
Most definitely. It was like 3 little.
Like you're supposed to split it between the table. It's the tiniest.
The skewer was like a toothpick, and it had 3 chunks of meat on it.
It was about the size of my pinky.
For $18.
Which I do have a large pinky, ladies, but still wasn't that big.
I've slept in the same bed as this gentleman. Don't worry about the pinky comments. Anyway, so how was the suit? How was the Wagyu skewer?
It's pretty good. It's not like 3 bites is enough to really get a good feel for how good it is, I guess.
Well, you could have spent another $18 and got 6 bites. Maybe you could have formed an opinion then.
My only regret is when I took the picture of it, I didn't put my pinky in there for size comparison.
Yeah, it was pretty small. It was pretty small. But you said it tasted pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's American Wagyu, whatever that means.
Yeah, it's a fancy meat. It's not Japanese Wagyu, but pretty decent cut of meat. I don't know. My meal was pretty good, too. Like you said, it was more of a snack, but I would say mine was either 6 or 7 out of 10.
And I'm still checking that motherfucker off my list.
That's right, because you've been there. You have been there and consumed 3 bites of food.
Yes. It's not even like I just sat there.
Nope.
I ate.
It counts. It counts. So, yeah, so we went there for our snack. We went to then the meet and greet at Alto Bar in Caesar's Palace. And then,
correct.
And then after that, which we discussed that on our previous podcast. But so then we got done with that, and everybody kind of went their own separate ways. And I kind of wish, having heard some of the comments about poor Karen, I kind of wish I'd have stuck around to see some of that fun. But we got to see the precursor of that. I have some pictures of Mike with Karen, and it was a good time. Good time. But we then ventured over to, was that the night we ventured over to Planet Hollywood? I think we did.
You keep skipping the frozen s'mores.
Well, that was the same night. I blocked out about an hour of that time frame just because of personal issues that we don't need to discuss on here. But tell us more about the frozen s'more.
Dominique Ansel.
Okay.
I don't know how you say it. That's where the bakery or the store where you get it. It's by the Gordon Ramsay place at Caesar's Palace. It was quite delicious. It was fairly expensive, of course, but it's a frozen marshmallow with ice cream and chocolate and some sort of probably graham crackers or something in there. Just good. I would give it a solid 8 on the dessert scale.
Really? So
I would rate it above the cannolis.
You would rate it above the cannolis. That was my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's high praise because you said that the cannolis were pretty fantastic.
I had never heard of that place until this trip. And I think I mentioned in the other podcast, our friend Jen, who is very good at coming up with these sort of gems, found this dish, if you want to call it a dish. But it seems like they have a lot of sweets and stuff there that might be worth a try. But the showstopper is the frozen s'more.
Okay. So you put it ahead of the cannoli. Where does it rate next to the sticky toffee pudding?
Well, sticky toffee's 10 of 10, obviously.
Okay.
So it's an 8 out of 10.
It's an 8 out of 10. Well, that's still high praise. I still think that's high praise. And especially, like you said, since you said you would go do it again. I was not in the mood to eat. I was very frustrated at the time, but I had not had the situation going on that I did. I probably would have gotten one as well. I think that's on my list.
The only thing, the negative is the size. It's pretty small for the price, but like you said, it's Vegas.
Yeah, you're going to pay. The days of Vegas being a discount or a budget vacation or location, destination, whatever you want to say, those are long gone. I don't think those are coming back.
Right.
So we had the frozen s'more, or you guys had the frozen s'more. Then we headed to Planet Hollywood. Is that right?
Yes. Well, we went to the tattoo place and then Earl of Sandwich.
Then we made our every trip pilgrimage to the Earl of Sandwich, the world's greatest hot sandwich. That's not their line. That's mine. What did you think of Earl?
It was terrible.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar. I'm sorry. I love Earl of Sandwich. I know that's not anything that's going to be a gourmet food, but they had little table placards.
Who says it's not gourmet?
Well, I think it's not gourmet when you compare it to like a Gordon Ramsay type restaurant or, some of the fancy restaurants, but
fuck Gordon Ramsay. It's gourmet.
Damn right. It is gourmet. It is gourmet.
It's a gourmet motherfucking ham and Swiss.
I'm trying to think. I think the first time I went there this time, yes, I went twice. The first time I went there, I got the full Montague.
You did go twice and you didn't tell me?
I did, but you cheated on me with the pizza from whatever the place at Palazzo was. So when I went back to the hotel that night, I got another Earl.
You son of a bitch.
The sandwich I got is not one that you're going to eat anyway.
Doesn't matter. You could have got one and went back to the parking garage and driven it to my room.
I offered to bring you one down. You told me you didn't want one.
I'm not that much of a dick.
You told me you didn't want one. I totally would have gotten you one.
You didn't tell me the last night you were getting one.
I didn't know I was going to get one until we parted ways. And I was like, I'm hungry.
Mm-hmm. Slimy bastard.
Slimy bastard. So anyway, we had our Earl of Sandwich, which I still, as far as a sandwich goes, it's a 9 out of 10 for me. I love it.
9 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10, motherfucker.
Okay, 10 out of 10. Sorry, Earl. I don't mean to shortchange you.
You're out of the club.
Which they do have as a sandwich at the Earl of Sandwich. So that brought us to, that was Tuesday, Monday night. So Tuesday, we went on our little hike in the morning, and then we had the cocktail hour thing when we got back. But then...
zero food to this point.
Zero food to this point, and some pretty strong cocktails at the cocktail hour. I think we were both feeling pretty good at that point, and we were looking for food. And so we were headed over to...
And the plan?
The plan was to go to Paris, to Martha Stewart's The Bedford. But...
The problem?
They weren't fucking open at 3 in the afternoon. How does that happen?
We already railed on it last episode.
But I don't understand it.
It's what Vegas is now. It's what everything is, really.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, since we were in Paris, we ended up venturing over to Mon Ami Gabi, which is a restaurant that sits right on the Las Vegas Boulevard frontage. I mean, it's right there. You can actually sit outside and eat, which one of the three of us in our party recommended we do. Two of the other three decided that it was too hot. So instead, we got sat right next to the window to the outside, and we got all the joys of the heat and everything of Las Vegas.
Don't steal my line.
Sorry, I'm going to
steal my line. I just edited this, so I know you're stealing my line.
I am. But so it was hot where we were sitting, but we weren't outside, so we didn't get the breeze.
So obviously, had I known we were going to sit basically outside anyway, I would have wanted to sit on the very outside. But we weren't really told that, oh, if you choose inside, you're still going to be outside, just not the good outside. So that's on them.
That is on them. I can't pin that on you. But at the same time, we may have had the best meal we've ever had in our entire lives.
It was delicious.
Or
it was so good.
The alternative might have been we were so hungry and intoxicated that any food was going to taste really good at that point. I'm kind of leaning towards the latter on that.
No, mine was really good.
I mean, mine was good too, but I wonder if I wasn't intoxicated and that hungry, if it would have tasted as good as I remember it tasting. But anyway, I ordered the steak frites. So I had 2 pieces of steak with French fries and béarnaise sauce, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. What did you say you ordered, Mike?
The croquet or croque monsieur.
Oh, yes. It was there's a theme here. It was a ham and Swiss cheese sandwich covered in bechamel sauce. It was good. The fries were really good. I was actually surprised with the fries. The fries were pretty fantastic. I
don't remember anything special about the fries.
You just remember the sandwich?
I was too busy devouring Monsieur.
Monsieur. It was, so I thought it was really actually pretty good. There have been some reviews, and I'd heard some people talk about that it wasn't very good anymore. But I probably would have given mine at least a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. How about you?
I'd give mine probably a 15 out of 10.
Subtract the intoxication factor, and what would it be? A 15 out of 10?
I can't subtract that.
I know.
I haven't ate there sober.
It's also true. But I think we can check that one off our list because we actually were there and we ate. Now, whether we have an accurate memory of...
Oh, yeah. I probably won't go back. Although the Monsieur wasn't bad.
It was pretty good.
6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like at a 6, 7.5, somewhere in there. I think it was pretty decent, really.
7.259.
4?
Ish.
Okay, good.
Ish.
But I'll just round it up to a 7.29547.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay. So we ate, then we ventured back to Flamingo because they were having some group gaming things with the 360 Vegas vacation group.
But we did not eat.
We ate. I played. You did not.
You ate at the Flamingo?
No, we didn't eat at the Flamingo. You and your wife took off towards M&M World and such.
I know. We're covering food here.
Oh, that's right. So the next meal was that night, which you actually ate at Palazzo, did you not?
I made a good choice.
Okay.
Actually, you did too, cocksucker.
I was just going to say, I might have made the better choice, but I'm not going to rub that in.
I don't know. This pizza was pretty good.
It was Grimaldi's? Is that what you said the name of it was?
Right. Which is actually right across from the flight club.
Okay.
So we did takeout since we were staying at Palazzo. It was just down the elevator, pick it up, had to take it back to the room. Did I tell the minibar story?
Yeah, you did. That's funny. How much did that Sprite cost you from the minibar?
$10.
$10, right?
Totally worth it.
It was worth it.
But I got the barbecue chicken pizza.
Okay.
And it was a little cold because I think I told the story last time of not being stupid about the elevators. So I took the long route back to the room.
Yeah.
And then by the time I had hunted down a beverage out of the fridge and all that, first I had checked both ice rooms on our floor to see if they had a vending machine. They didn't. So it got a little cold is my point, but it was still awesome. Larger point is, if we had ate it in the restaurant or if it had been hot, I think it would have been even better. Not that there's anything wrong with cold pizza.
No.
But I would give it a solid 8.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. On a scale of secret pizza to Pizza Rock, where does it fall?
It's no secret pizza, that's for sure.
So it's above secret pizza, it's above Syracuse, it's above Moneyline. Is it Pizza Rock?
I would say it's the second best pizza I've had.
Really?
In Vegas, behind Pizza Rock. Okay.
That's good. So that definitely sounds like it's worth a try for me.
Some of the pizza places are just by the slice. It's reheating kind of things. So maybe it's not a fair comparison. Whereas this is a whole pie.
Sounds like it was fantastic, though. You did rave about that, and you are a pizza guy. So I'm going to say that you know your pizza.
And maybe it could have been, too. It was one of those super hungry things. I wasn't drunk at the time, I don't think. Also, being super hungry makes it sometimes taste a little better. But I think it's pretty good pizza. I saw a lot of people carrying them through the Palazzo. So they do a brisk carry-out business.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Obviously, I told you that I cheated on you and had Earl of Sandwich one more time before the night was out. I had the holiday turkey sandwich, which is not your style, but it's delicious. I don't know. It's delicious. So.
And it's not the holidays.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I could eat it anytime. But yeah, so that basically took us to the end of Tuesday night. And then I left early on Wednesday morning. Did you, I know you guys left a little later in the day on Wednesday. Did you guys eat anywhere special on Wednesday?
Let's see. Airport Burger King at Harry Reid. Give that about a 3 out of 10.
Still above Guy Fieri. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
Probably true.
On par.
About the same. That's more accurate. They're about the same. Guy Fieri may have a little better fries.
Maybe.
But the burgers at Burger King are probably better.
Good chance.
They're flame broiled,
They are flame broiled. Just not reheated. I got nothing. I lost it. My one-liner was gone with the Guy Fieri comment.
Remember when they had mac and cheese Cheetos?
I do remember that. Yeah, those were good.
Those are awesome.
I know. Why do they take stuff away that's so good?
Burger King's good about that, or bad about that, however you want to say it. They introduce shit that's kind of weird and kind of good, but it's never sticks around.
Yeah. One thing that they do allow to stick around is their horrendous fries, but for some reason they don't stop serving them puppies.
Do you remember the old? Because they did a
rebrand on their fries, yeah.
Well, like a redesign,
only
in food terms, whatever that means. Years ago, this has been quite a few years ago, but it wasn't for the better.
No, I think their original ones were better than these.
Just like I think Domino's Pizza, when they did their improvements to their pizza, I think they made it worse.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I remember some of those pizzas that we used to have back in the day when we were...
Well, that was the old...
The old style, but they were fantastic.
Style.
They were fantastic.
Yeah. I like their old style deep dish.
Mm-hmm. Where the cheese the toppings went all the way to the edge of the crust, and it just had that cheese.
But there wasn't very many toppings.
No, there was like 4 pieces of hamburger on each slice.
kind of little Caesar style.
Yeah, but it was still I loved it. But yeah, so that kind of wraps up our tour day food of this trip in Las Vegas. I always enjoy that part of Vegas. I know that you and your wife tend to, and I know it's part of your goal is to try every restaurant there in Las Vegas at some point in time.
It's an impossible goal.
It is an impossible goal, but I tend to skew maybe not towards the fancier stuff like you guys do.
You calling us fancy?
You are fancy, not snobs. I just said fancy.
That's fancy fighting words there.
I better be careful or you'll slap me with your Wagyu, American Wagyu, pinky size skewer.
No, I will have my butler do it.
But that's something I always enjoy. But then, of course, now that we've kind of wrapped that up, did you have any other comments on the food type stuff, Mike? Or are we ready to roll into the third leg of our trip?
Third leg.
I had to say it. The kickstand. The kickstand of our trip.
Yeah, the third leg will be pretty short because there ain't a lot to talk about.
No, it was pretty short and very, very, very disappointing. Maybe that's what she said.
But I do have my handy dandy Gamble Diary app, which is not a paid sponsor.
No,
seems like a missed opportunity
for them. Absolutely. So tell us about your gambling experience this time in Las Vegas.
Shit.
That's mine.
You?
Yeah, same. It was absolutely awful. Although, and we'll get to it, but I had a missed opportunity that I'd left a little too soon on. But that's gambling. You never know. I mean, I could have stayed longer and lost.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but somebody wanted to go buy M&Ms, and I wanted to play craps.
And you should have stayed and played craps. Exactly right. Because you could buy those M&Ms at your local fucking Walmart.
You're in trouble, Geoff.
I know I am. Anyway, so we started off in... When did we first gamble?
Nope. I'm going to take you back to the night before I went to Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead.
I visited a brand new Harrahs in my hometown that now has gambling, even though I don't live there anymore.
Tell me more.
It was kind of nice and shiny. Not really all that exciting other than that. I did play... I didn't get free play there. Actually, we went there to get Caesar's cards, so we would have them right away instead of having to go do that when we got to Vegas. But I did end up cashing a little bit of points to play some free play. I don't know why or how we ended up on Buffalo Stampede slots. I have never won a fucking thing on those slots.
Yeah.
Didn't win a thing this time.
Yeah. I have never won on those slots either.
So I flushed $50 worth of free play down the drain there.
Yeah. Any bonuses at all? I mean, any hits?
No, I don't think I've ever hit a bonus on Buffalo Stampede.
Yeah. I haven't either. I've never had luck on that game. So that was rather a short...
It is super weird, though, that there's a Harrahs in my hometown.
Yeah.
In Nebraska.
I agree. It's wild. I've not yet visited, but I do want to go visit at some point, so...
It was also kind of weird accessing it from the main highway. You can't access it. You kind of got to go around, and I don't know if that's just something the city made them do, but it seems like a bad plan.
Doesn't make access very easy, it sounds like.
Well, you'd probably want a lot of maybe some impulse buyers, so to speak. Just turning off the highway and coming in. Yeah.
Well.
Or maybe that's coming. I don't know. There's still a lot of construction around there.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
It looks like the horse track's already done, though.
I heard that they were pretty far along on it, so that will be nice too. But yeah, so you said you didn't have much luck there. We met up at the airport early in the morning on Sunday. Took off, and did we gamble at all on Sunday until we got to downtown Grand?
So I had suppressed this memory, I believe. But my handy dandy Gamble Diary app tells me that I blew $100 at Fontainebleau.
Did you really? I didn't remember you gambling at Fontainebleau.
We did not have free play.
Oh, yeah.
You did. I think I was jealous of that. So Dragon Link was not kind to me, and I lost $100 there.
Them bastards at Fontainebleau.
I don't think I'll be back. Unless it's to go to Papi Steak.
Yeah, there you go. And get the $1,000 steak so they can dance around with the hot branding iron in a suitcase. That's weird. I'm sorry, that whole thing is weird.
So somebody's going to get branded on accident at some point, right?
I think they got to. All those people around, somebody's going to get hurt.
How does the lawyers not shut that down?
I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see.
It's real, right? The branding part's real?
As far as I know.
Maybe it's one of those Vegas magic things.
No, it could be. It's just all smoke and mirrors.
Yep.
So you lost $100 at Fontainebleau. Then where did you gamble again before we went to downtown Grand?
How'd you do it on your free play at Fontainebleau?
I didn't have a single win on the Fontainebleau free play. I think I only had
What'd you play?
$15. Oh, of course I played Dragon Link.
See, that's how I'm blaming my $100 loss on you. If you'd played something else, I wouldn't have probably sat down and played.
That's probably fair. I probably caused your loss, so you probably should send me a bill.
Setting down a drink right in front of an alcoholic.
To a certain extent, it is true. That is true. I would agree that is not a good thing for you.
No, the next thing I have down would have been at Downtown Grand. Video poker.
Okay. And how'd you do on video poker?
First session, I gained $1.
Okay.
Put 20 in, cashed out 21. But then I think I went back and lost the 21.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Sounds like me.
Yeah.
Then we went and played craps.
Yeah. Well, I started out while you were playing video poker. I think I actually, before you played video poker, I headed over to the Ultimate Texas Hold'em table because they had a $5 table, and I promptly lost $100 there. And then I saw you sneak over to the craps table, and so I went over there with you.
No, I think I came and got you and said, let's play craps.
I think you might be right. If we're being honest, I think you did say, hey, let's go play craps. There's open spots.
Yeah, let's be honest for once, Geoff.
Okay, for once. So we headed over to the craps table, which was a $10 minimum, which I thought the Downtown Grand was advertising $5 blackjack, $5 craps,
So
and
I
$5
thought
roulette.
all of, that was kind of Downtown's thing, was all of them had some sort of $5 shit. But
Yeah, it didn't. It was a $10 minimum.
that's not really the case for a lot of them anymore.
No. And I think that's the thing that hurts downtown, because that's why people go downtown, is for more affordable gambling.
Let's be more like the Strip. Sounds like a great plan.
No. But I thought, okay, so from our craps experience there, I thought started out pretty damn well. I was pleased with how things were.
We did.
We played for quite a while, doing fairly well.
I didn't keep good enough track when we were up, but I bet I was up almost a couple hundred.
I think I was as well. I think
because we were doing really good at the beginning.
I think I looked down and I think I bought in for 100 and maybe I bought in for 200. I think I might have bought in for 200. And I looked down at one point and I had a significant stack of reds. I think 3 or 4 greens. I think I was probably up a couple hundred as well. I mean, there was a time when the dice came around. I was just stick right had thrown for a while and gotten a couple points. I actually hit a couple points, which that's rare because I normally don't. You hit a couple of points, I think, or hit a bunch of box numbers. Did you just hit a bunch of box numbers? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I hit any points.
Then Karen was right after you, and she hit a couple points. And then I bet we had
Dickheads on the other side didn't do shit.
I bet there were like 5 or 6 people right in a row that went 0.7, and it just went to shit in a heartbeat.
So what did you end up?
I ended up losing another 150, I think, if I remember right.
Jeez, Geoff.
Yeah.
I lost 65.
So I was down, about 250 at that point?
But I had that extra 100 I had
At Fontainebleau.
blown on the Dragon Link.
Yeah, and your 21 that you'd blown on the on the video poker.
I did a lot of blowing.
I think that's for another podcast. But, so we cashed out, or we colored up there at Downtown Grand. And that pretty much did end our gambling on Sunday night, right?
Yes.
So then Monday morning, like I said, I don't think we did any gambling. Did we do any gambling on Monday? Gosh.
I don't have any gambling until Alto, although I did. No, that would have been the next day.
Okay.
So no, I didn't gamble again until at the bar with the meet and greet at Alto.
Mm-hmm. And how did you do there?
That was day 2, right?
That was our second day.
Lost $200.
Ugh. I didn't lose that much.
And I was playing Deuces Wild is my thing. I know there's probably better ones to play, but that's just the one I play. I managed to hit not a natural royal, but a royal with deuces, which I had gotten pretty low and got all the way back to even. So I went from 200 to probably like $60, all the way back to 200, then went all the way to zero again.
I think I lost. I just played video poker for a little while, and then I saw some people at the meet and greet that I wanted to talk to, like Julian and such. And I'm still kicking myself, and I know we're both kicking ourselves that we didn't make it over to see. I think it's Mark, right, with Pennies for Vegas.
Yep.
And I'm so upset that we didn't get in touch with him. That was
Well, actually, he messaged us on Twitter and had a little back and forth with him. And yeah, that was our bad. We definitely, how is he supposed to know what we look like or
exactly
who we are? We should have gone over there and talked to him, but we didn't make it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to, next time we're in, I'm sure we'll cross paths at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. So we finished up there. I don't think you didn't gamble anymore that night, did you?
No. So at this point, I'm down. My gambling budget was 500, and I'm down about 450-ish.
Yeah, I was down.
So yeah, the next morning was the exercise thing, and I gave what was left, which I think was about $50, to my wife, and said, "Go save the family house," or something like that. Kind of Griswold-esque. And she went with Lene and Mike.
Yeah, Lene and Mike. Yep,
from
Minnesota.
I think there might have been a few other people around at various times, but apparently she'll listen to them when they teach her video poker, but not me. So I expected her to just go to Wizard of Oz or something and pour that $50 in there. And I was just hoping she hit a bonus at some point in there and maybe get us back to close to even or something. Because video poker is a grind.
It is.
But no, she decided to pick that time to learn how to play video poker, and hit a couple hands where she sent me pictures, but eventually lost that $50 too. We were tapped at that point.
The gambling fun was done.
Well,
oh, wait a minute.
Not so fast. What about you?
So I didn't play at all until I went to the group gaming thing then that they had after the cocktail hour and after we ate at Mon Ami Gabi. And that was the biggest miss of the whole trip for both of us, because I sat down and played and I was up. You and your wife left to go do your other stuff. And I was actually up probably $100. And I was like, I need to go find you guys. And it's not your fault. I was leery because I had taken a beating so far and I didn't want to lose a bunch more money.
It's all my wife's fault.
Okay, we'll blame her. I was up probably about $100 when I cashed out from the table. And after I left, after we listened to some of the recap from the 360 Vegas podcast, apparently they had two people go on just huge rolls, 30 plus rolls after that, which probably would have gotten me back above what I'd lost plus.
Oh, it would have
easily.
Yes.
Easily. Because Mark and Karen were talking about people were just making money hand over fist. They said that Brian,
thousands of dollars.
Yeah. People were making just because he was pressed up to like $480 or something like that on the 6 and hit it a couple times, which holy shit, that had paid $500. That paid $1,100 between those two hits alone. So total miss there, would have changed the whole outlook of the gambling trip, but didn't happen, and that's part of gambling. So, and that was that was not the last gambling I did. I should take that back. We ended up meeting down at the Palazzo, thinking we would find some sort of stadium gaming or something.
No, there was something in between there too. There was those free plays at MGM.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Go ahead.
Well, I've still got some. Okay, so I was wrong. I gave my wife $100 and she cashed out with 50. So she didn't blow it all. And then I do kind of remember this. I took the other 50 right before we went and ate between the cocktails when we were drunk. And I blew that.
Oh, that's right, at Paris.
Blew that at a Dragon Link machine.
Yeah.
Wiped out like a minute.
I do remember that.
So then we were busted. But so we came back to the meet and greet that you talked about, where before the sticky crepes or the roll to win crepes started, and I cashed out. I don't like to use Caesar's points for free play because they only give you half a cent per point, whereas everything else, rooms and meals, give you 1 cent per point. Getting completely skunked. And wasn't going to sit too well this trip.
No.
So that was on my wife's account. She had 20K points, which would have been $100 in free play.
Uh-huh.
So I said, fuck it. Loaded it on our card. Went over to Dragon Link. Finally hit a bonus. So we turned that $100 of free play into $300.
All right. Nice.
So kind of working our way back a little bit.
Creeping back.
So then to the M&Ms and all that. Then we met up with you and did the MGM free play. Did you have anything? Did you do anything with the MGM thing?
I think I ended up winning about $11 total, which $11 is $11, you know. It was free money. But you, if I recall, did pretty well.
I did $7, $1, $7, and then it was it wasn't a Dragon Link, it was a Lightning Link.
Uh-huh.
Hit a bonus where, and I know it's all predetermined, but it did get down to the last orb on the bonus, which is if that one pops in, then you hit the jackpot. But it came out on that $20 of free play, winning another $100. So now we're kind of back in business, you know.
Yeah.
Only got about 100, but then came the bubble craps that last night that you were about to talk about.
Yeah. And I will talk about something after that kind of frustrated me, but we got to bubble craps. That was the only craps thing we could find on the strip that night down at the Venetian.
What was our original plan?
Our original plan was to meet at Harrahs.
Right.
At the roll to win.
And what was the deal?
They only had two of the 10 monitors were working. So you only could play on 2 spots and they were taken. And so I walked then from there. I went to the link to see if there was anything open. There wasn't anything that was a $25. Everything was at least a $25 minimum there. Same at Harrahs for live craps. So I thought, well, I'll go across because we had found some pretty decent minimums at Treasure Island when we'd been there a couple times ago. Went to Treasure Island.
Treasure Island has the hybrid.
They have a hybrid, but it wasn't even open. They had one craps.
Wasn't even fucking open.
Nope. They had
Think about that. It's what, 7, 8 o'clock at night?
Yep.
Or later. It was probably later.
It was a little later. It was like 9, but still, it wasn't late.
And yeah, it's Tuesday?
Yeah.
But it's still prime time.
Yeah. Wasn't open.
And you don't have your craps open.
They had one craps table, and it was a $25 minimum, and there was nobody playing it. So I called you, and I said, hey, this is what I found. You're like, come over to Palazzo. We'll go find I think there's a stadium gaming thing.
They have a huge stadium thing in Venetian.
Right.
And I'm thinking, I had never actually played on it. I'm thinking, we'll just go play there. It doesn't have craps.
Nope.
It has everything but craps.
Yep. And same with the one at Palazzo has a stadium situation, and it didn't have craps either. And so we ended up at Venetian playing a bubble craps machine, and we actually started out good. I was the first shooter, technically, and I hit, 2 or 3 points? I was up. You were the next one. You hit a point or two, and we're hitting some box numbers. Doing good. 2 or 3 jackasses sit down, 0.7, 0.7, 0.7. So they get up and leave. I'm the shooter, and if I shit, you know, what did we do? Hit 2 or 3 points again. We start to crawl back. You get to be the shooter, hit 2 or 3 points. Some jackasses sit down, 0.7, 0.7, 0.7. I'm like, screw this. I am done with this bullshit.
I am the furthest thing from a superstitious person, but that is how it worked out that night. Yes, every time we were a load on that craps table, we would win. Every time somebody sat down, which was most of the time, it just went to hell.
Yep, it was awful. To the point where you were like, well, let's go find somewhere else to play. I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm so tired of this. I was frustrated. I don't know. I think I ended up, I don't know what you were down for the trip. I think I was down $350. Something like that.
So I lost $84 on that one.
Uh-huh.
So 150, 180, somewhere in there. I'm back down. And my plan that I kind of hatched that night as I was back in the room was my Caesars account has 60,000 some points, I think. And I'm thinking, man, I'd like to go back even if I could. So in my mind, if I use 40,000 points, that's $200 in free play, $200 through a Dragon Link machine. She's going to put me back at even.
So did you do it?
I did it. Oh, I put the $200 or cashed out the 40,000 points for $200, played the Dragon Link. What do you think happened?
I don't think you won a fucking thing.
Went home even.
You motherfucker. You didn't tell me that. You son of a bitch.
Won $186. So really, I didn't even get my whole $200 back. It was kind of, it's one of those, it wasn't a good thing to do, but it was good because it made me feel better about not losing money for the trip.
You're yelling at me for eating Earl of Sandwich without you.
You were already in Denver.
I know.
On a plane for
an hour and a half. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, well, I'm glad that you made it back to even. It just wasn't a good trip gambling for me, and you just kind of get that feeling every once in a while that's like, this is just not going to be a good trip. It just is not going to work out. I've had a couple of those where, for the most part, and again, it probably was worse knowing now that if I'd have stayed at that machine or at that craps table, I'd have probably been $1,000 up.
Yeah, you really could have gone without knowing that. You were actually at the table. I was standing behind you, wanting to get on. Who knows? I might not even ever been able to get on. My wife was telling me basically that we were going to go down to MGM at that point.
Like I said, it's gambling. That's the way it is. I could have stayed at that craps table and lost everything I bought in for, or I could have stayed and won a whole bunch of money. You just never know. And so I'm not upset about that. The thing that I'm most upset about, and this is just an overarching theme for the whole Vegas gambling trip, that Tuesday night really left a sour taste in my mouth, and the fact that we couldn't even find a table to get on. And I know if we'd have been willing to play on a $25 table, that we could have found a table. But why does every table have to be $25 freaking dollars on a Tuesday night? That doesn't make any sense to me, even in the low-level gaming.
I'm not willing to play on a $25 table, though.
No, and I'm not either. I mean, I could have, and I have. One time I did, and I only played like 2 or 3 rolls because I was like, I just can't. I mean, I can't do it.
But I get that they don't want the low rollers on the regular tables. That's pretty clear. But we couldn't even find an electronics place.
No, you couldn't even find one.
We couldn't find a roll to win. We couldn't find a hybrid. We couldn't find a stadium. We were stuck on these stupid
bubble craps.
Old school bubble craps.
That I couldn't even get. That I couldn't even get the freaking interface to work because it was so old.
That's every bubble craps ever.
I know, but it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It's had so much beer spilled down it.
True. And again, it's just a personal preference thing. I know there are people that like to play those bubble craps thing, especially newer players that are less intimidated and they can get everybody that they know surrounding them, and it can be fun. We've had fun at them before. I can't say that it's not that they can't be fun. It just is very frustrating when that's your only option to get to play.
For me, the interface is pretty dated.
It is awful.
Adding the chips, it's kind of clunky. Taking the chips down, that kind of stuff. I don't want Vegas to get to the point where bubble craps is my only option, though.
Exactly. Yep.
If that's always the case,
I'm just not going to gamble there. I'll still go. Or we'll just drive out to Durango. We'll rent a car and drive out to Durango and play.
Well, apparently we can't go downtown.
No.
Actually, don't tell the casinos this, but I like $10. That's my sweet spot.
I know. I like $10 too.
I'd rather do 10 than 5.
Yeah, I agree. It just the lack of that being an option is frustrating. But anyway, yeah, that sums up my gambling excursion and yours apparently. Do we have some time for some rapid fire questions?
Do you have some more?
Do you have some more?
I didn't.
What?
The ones last time were kind of not good.
Okay.
All around.
All right.
I probably have some ones I didn't use though, so I look.
Well, while you're looking up your list, I have one for you to start. You ready? All right.
Of course.
All right. Excalibur or Luxor?
Excalibur.
Wrong. Luxor.
Excalibur's got a better location.
Okay. So here's my thing. And the reason I chose those two is you got the two, I think they're the two most highly themed resorts now in Vegas. I mean, you got Paris.
Neither beats each other on theming, that's for sure.
No. And that's what I'm saying. You can't say, well, I go on this one because of the theming. So that's why I kind of chose those two. The reason I choose Luxor, I've stayed at both of them now. I've stayed at Luxor more, though. I've stayed at Luxor, I think, 3 times. And just Excalibur the one time. To me, the rooms were pretty comparable. I love the whole experience with the inclinators. You may die, but you get
that's not, you can't put that down as a plus.
I like it. I like the experience of it. Have you been in an elevator in Excalibur where there's possibly cocaine spilled all over the elevator / inclinator?
I feel like there's just as much of a chance of that in the Excalibur as there is in Luxor.
Have you experienced it?
No.
Have you experienced that at Luxor?
We don't know that it was cocaine.
No, we don't. We don't know that it wasn't.
You should have took some of that and did some tests or something on it.
Could have, I suppose, but I don't know. There's something about Luxor. I do enjoy Luxor. There's something about it.
But so other than you just enjoying it, what is better about it?
Well, like I said, all things being equal, I don't know. I just have a better feeling about the place. Excalibur,
Excalibur wins on location, right?
Well, Excalibur location is slightly better. It's not great.
It's better.
It's slightly better. Okay, it's slightly better. Now that Tropicana's not right across the street, it's gone downhill. I mean...
It's better.
Okay, fine. Fine, it might be a little bit better, but I have never, ever won shit at Excalibur. I have won at Luxor. If we're being honest.
You can't base it on where you win.
Yes, you can. Why can't you?
Because that's just luck.
Okay, is it?
How much have you played at Excalibur?
Actually, we played quite a bit at Excalibur. We played stadium gaming there.
I am giving you the stink eye. There's no stadium gaming there.
There used to be. We played stadium gaming together.
Bullshit.
We did. On our Thanksgiving trip that one year, we played stadium gaming at Excalibur. I've won multiple times at Luxor.
You think of New York?
We have played there too. I know we played at Excalibur. But yeah, I mean, I've won multiple times at Luxor. Never, ever have I won at Excalibur. So yes, I can include that as in part of my logic. Plus, it's a fucking pyramid.
It's a fucking castle.
Dated.
Dated. It used to have a Schlotzsky's in it.
It did used to have a Schlotzsky's that I think your brother loved. Loved it. Had it for every meal that we were in Vegas. On that note, though, Luxor has the Titanic exhibit.
What about when it used to have the Merlin show and the dragon?
Yeah, I know. It was the lowest rated show on the strip. That's why it disappeared.
Well, it was rated. It's a free show.
I know.
It doesn't have ratings.
Okay, so here, listen to this argument. Fantasy, Thunder from Down Under. I'm going with fantasy. See, Luxor. It's science. All right, what's your question?
Best Christmas song.
Best Christmas song? Does it have to be popular or just Christmas song in general?
Best Christmas song.
I am going to go with probably What Child Is This?
Seriously?
Yeah, I like that song.
It's fucking Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells?
Yes.
That's so cliche.
It's obviously Jingle Bells.
Might as well just say Silent Night if we're going to be that one.
No. Second place would be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay. All right, fine. I'm not going to argue with you.
Idiot.
What an idiot. Oh. Okay, here's one for you. Uber versus taxi versus renting a car.
You and your car rental boner.
It's not a car rental boner.
What is the right answer? Car rental?
Nope, it is not.
I prefer taxi for the airports. pretty much anything else, like going from downtown to the Strip or vice versa, I would do Uber.
Wrong.
And that's breaking the rules because you're only supposed to say one.
That's why you're wrong. Although your answer is valid because that was my answer too. I used to think that, although I didn't include limo service, because if that was a possibility, that beats your taxi from the airport to the hotel.
Well, the question is, Jay would be all over this clarifying the question.
Yeah, I know he would.
Based on price or convenience or what?
I know. Actually, I've thought a lot about the whole car rental thing. And while I did enjoy the fact
here it comes.
No, while I did enjoy the fact that we had a car in Vegas this last time, and there were some perks to it for sure. If I was going by myself, it would make no sense. I don't have Caesar's Diamond status, and it would cost me a shitload to park.
Yes, but as I re-listened to our conversation from the first or the last podcast, I think so. The parking charges are like a daily fee. We were just treating it as every time you go in and out, you have to pay. But if you had been using your room key instead of the diamond card, that would have worked too. It just would have been covered by the parking fee. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It would have been a daily fee added on to your.
But it wouldn't have been $20 every time you went in and out. Is my point.
Right.
You would have paid probably $7,500.
Right.
Which is not cool.
Well,
but I guess my point is, we thought at one point, oh, you have to pay every time you go in and out. What the fuck? Not if you have a room there, you don't.
Right. But still, I still think in general, I would prefer to taxi to my hotel and walk pretty much everywhere. Unless I'm going, like, say, downtown, then I Uber.
So coming from the airport, taxis are way easier because you just walk outside and there's a line right outside of baggage claim. And actually coming back to the airport, I do Uber or Lyft quite a bit too. So I guess I would say only from the airport is when I do the taxi. But the taxis are also convenient a lot of times right out front on the rotunda. They've got them lined up and just hop in them there too.
You got one more?
So I've been thinking about the rental car thing a little bit too. I could see you renting a rental car and us staying off strip.
I could see it too. I'm not opposed to that. I think that from what I've heard, that Red Rock is actually extraordinarily nice.
Let's not get crazy. I'm talking Rio.
Oh, Rio, absolutely. I want to stay at Rio. I'm actually excited.
I'm kidding. Actually, Red Rocks is, yes. Or Red Rock. Is it Red Rock? Or Red
I think it's Red Rock. Yeah, Red Rock.
Red Rock, Palms.
Yeah, Palms. Green Valley Ranch is supposed to be nice. I don't know. We'll have to try it. Every experience in Vegas every trip is a different experience. So, yeah, you never know.
Mini golf or bowling?
I'm actually probably going with bowling.
Wrong.
I knew that was going to be wrong. Although our mini golf experience for this time was fun. It was fun. It was just hot.
Why would you say bowling?
Multiple reasons. If you have a bunch of people that are bowling, like if you have a group, say you have a group of 8 or 12 that want to go do something, mini golfing would be impossible.
Who said anything about a big group? I just said mini golf or bowling.
No, I'm just saying.
You have to rent stupid shoes?
I think part of the problem is in our area, there are no really good mini golf courses.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely nothing on par with what we experienced when we were in Las Vegas. There's anything close to that.
Nice pun there. On par.
I know. I'm glad you caught that.
You didn't.
Oh, goodness.
So you're wrong.
Okay. I figured I was.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up like your dad should have done 47 years ago.
That joke never gets old. Oh, well, we want to thank you all for listening to our recap of, our previous one about the Vegas vacation, as well as this time with gambling and our food experiences in Las Vegas. You can find us on all of the social media outlets at Strip Walking, or you can visit our actual site, stripwalking.com. Enjoyed it. I hope you had a good night tonight, Mike.
I had one more thing.
What did you got?
According to the Spotify demographics, 12% of our listeners are age 60 to 150.
Wow, 12%.
So just noodle on that.
I will rattle around in my brain tonight as I'm sleeping.
There may be people listening to this podcast that were growing up just after the Civil War.
With the 150-year-old population. That is right on, Mike. You're so right. They are right there. So, anyway.
I welcome our 150-year-old listeners.
I welcome them with open arms. Put down your muskets and join us. Anyway, thank you so much for listening, and you have a great night.